Hello, my name is Joseph Urbanski, and I'm a certified life coach. I became a life coach to really help people achieve their goals. One of my favorite goals to help people with is in what I call state goals. Like maybe they're in a sad state or a mad state or a depressed state, and they want to, achieve the state of someone who's happy or joyous. By utilizing a life coach that's trained to help people meet their goals, this goal's super easy to accomplish. Let me explain how. First thing you do is you have to identify your state. Identify your state that you're in. We're all human beings, and we have a state. If your state is depression, if you're depressed and you want to get out of it, first thing you can do is, with your psychiatrist or therapist's permission, is to focus on not why you're depressed. If you focus on why you're depressed, the things that cause your depression, the things that happen to you, the things that are unfair, you can't believe that the thing happened so badly to you. If you're focusing on the problem, that's what you're going to find. In this life, we find what we focus on, and if we focus on the problem, that's what we're going to find. Now, that's true. So you might say, well, what do I focus on then? If you don't want me to focus on why I'm depressed, then what am I supposed to do? Focus on the solution? Well, I don't think you should focus on the solution either, because focusing on the solution is basically like treating the symptoms. If you're depressed, you could go on a walk or ride a bike or laugh or go see a movie. Some people do drugs and drink alcohol, and they change their state like that. But there's a better way to do it. You don't focus on the problem. You don't focus on the solution, which is a temporary fix. You have to focus on the thing that's causing the problem. And let's break that down a little bit. What caused the depression? Now, I don't mean the actions. I mean your behavior. What behavior did you do right before you became depressed? What behavior did you do right before you became depressed? Now, we have to understand what behavior is. A lot of times I ask people what behavior is, and they say the way somebody acts or something like that. That's not exactly true. Behavior isn't the way anybody acts. It's the way people act. And you see what I mean? It's the actual thing your body does. It's not the way your body does it. It's not the reason your body does it. It's not the style your body does it. It's what your body does. Your behavior is what your body does. It's not hard to understand. It's very simple, rudimentary here. What was your body doing right before you became depressed? Think about it. Think back to when it happened. When did you first become depressed? What sequence of events did your body go through right before you became depressed? Okay, once you have that, think back just a step further and say, what feeling was I experiencing right before my body started doing that chain of events, before my body started doing the thing that led up to me being depressed? What feeling was I experiencing? Maybe you were happy and something happened to change it. Once you have the feeling, the emotion that you were experiencing right before you did the behavior that led up to being depressed, you can fix it. But you have to get there first. You have to learn what behavior you were doing, what your body was physically doing right before you became depressed. And then figure out what feeling that you had right before you became depressed. That's called the first level of understanding. Once you have the first level of understanding, you're in a position to cure any negative state, whether that state's anger or anxiety or depression or whatever. Once you know the feeling that you had before you had the behavior that caused the depression, you can fix it. You have to go through a little imagination exercise here. Imagine you still felt that original way, that happiness that you felt before you did the things that you did that led up to you being depressed. Imagine you had that feeling of joy. that elation, that happiness, that just that vibrance for life. Imagine you have that. This is an imagination exercise right here. I know you. So there might be people out here who are sad or depressed, and it may be hard to imagine this, but you can do it. You can imagine how it used to feel. Take a deep breath. Imagine that your life is in a situation where the depression is no longer even a part of what you're experiencing. It's so far gone. You're happy. Imagine that everything's clicking for you. Everything's right with the world. Imagine that everything is exactly how you want it to be. Take a deep breath and stay there for a moment. Now let's level up. What is more important than that feeling? What is more important than feeling like the world makes sense, like everything's right, that you're significant? What's more important than that? Remember, that feeling, that feeling of joy and happiness and like the world makes sense is your first level of understanding. What's more important than that? There's something out there to all of us that's more important than that. You have to think about what it is. Do you have it yet? I have mine. That is what life coaches call your truth. That is your truth. So whatever is more important than that feeling of happiness is what your truth is. Your truth is different than my truth, different than everybody else's truth. Everybody has their own truth, okay? And now, once you know your truth, which is a level above your level of understanding, your level of truth is the second level, you're in a position to level up beyond that. So I want you to imagine that whatever was more important than your level of understanding, whatever your truth is, imagine that you already have that now. We're doing a little bit deeper. We're diving a little bit deeper into this imagination exercise. Imagine that your level of truth is here now. You're looking down from your level of truth, and below you, you see the level of understanding, which is that sense of joy and happiness. And you can look even below that and see that way down there is where that depression lives. We're so far above that now. Once you figure out what is more important than your truth, spend some time with this. Think about it. What is more important than your truth? Once you have the answer, your life is about to change. Once you've identified what's more important than your truth, you've just discovered the third level, which is the level of intent. That's your level of intention. That's what you intend to do with your life. That's your life's purpose. That's how you discover what your life's purpose is. We just did the life's purpose exercise. So, how we adjust our state from a state of depression to the state of happiness, that level of understanding that we want, is we focus on whatever your intention is whenever you're feeling depressed or angry or sad or whatever your negative detrimental state is. You focus on what your life's purpose is, okay? So whenever you're depressed, if that's the goal, if that's the feeling that you're trying to change, whenever you're depressed, sit there for a moment, close your eyes, and think about this exercise. Imagine another person who has the same life's purpose as you. Imagine somebody different than you that has the same life's purpose as you. Imagine what they'd be doing right now, working towards their life's goal. And then go do that. Just go do that. It is impossible for your detrimental state to stick around if you're actively pursuing your life's purpose. You can't do it. Okay? That's why I became a life coach, because my life's purpose was to help as many people as I can before I die. And anytime I feel any detrimental state, maybe I'm mad at somebody, maybe somebody cut me off on the interstate, or maybe my kids did something to piss me off, maybe I'm mad at some girl. Whatever it is, I can adjust my state into something that's beneficial to me instead of something that's detrimental, like anger or depression or anxiety or fear. Those are all states. And as a human being, you are able to control your states. Not only can you control your states, that's what you do. That's what human beings are. We are state controllers. That's what we're doing down here. You're controlling your state. Don't live for one more second in a detrimental state. Sometimes things happen to us. Maybe we're ashamed or embarrassed or mad or angry or depressed or whatever the detrimental state you're feeling is. But you don't have to stay there. Detrimental states have a purpose, and their purpose is to show us how not to be. We're not supposed to stay there, okay? Get good at identifying your state. Is it a beneficial one, or is it a detrimental one? If it's detrimental, do the life's purpose elevation exercise that we just did. Figure out what your life's purpose is and hammer it. Hammer it. Become a person who lives with that passion. That's where those people who have the passion get it. If you have the passion, you can't be depressed. You cannot be passionate and depressed at the same time. Prove me wrong. Right now, I'm offering my life coaching services free of charge. You can call me or FaceTime me and speak to the real me in real time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, from now until October 6th. October 6th is when I go back to my regular fee rates. So I'll charge, per emergency session. And my regular scheduled and advanced sessions are always going to be free. I'm always going to be there to help people at any time that they need. Just go to my website, josephurbanski.com, click on the link that takes you to my phone number, call me right now, and we can talk about whatever's bothering you and whatever your goals are, and we can help you get there, okay? That's what a life coach does. That's my life's purpose, and I'm doing it for free. This is what's setting me apart from all the other life coaches in the world. I'm good, and I'm free, and I can help you, and I want to. Call me right now.